Joanna Zeiger in Kona, 2006. Joanna, welcome to the island. How long have you been here in Kona?
I got here last Tuesday, so just over a week.
Okay, and you have an interesting story with the earthquake this past Saturday. What were you doing when the ground started to tremble?
Well, I grew up in California, so I'm no stranger to earthquakes, but this past weekend was tremendous. I've never been in an earthquake so big. And I was out running with my friend Mitch Gold, and we were at the corner of Kuakini Highway and Palani Road, and we just heard this loud rumbling noise that we thought was like a big truck, sort of what it sounded like, but it was just louder even than that. And all of a sudden the ground just started to shake, and it was just this weird sensation of running while the ground was moving. Almost felt like a circus ride or something. And it was really just very disconcerting. It was really scary.
And so what did you do? Did you?
Well, I stopped running. No, we stopped running, and we realized it was an earthquake, and just sort of looked around to see if there's any damage, to see if something else was going to happen, and just took a few minutes to regroup. And then we just realized...
I'm surprised, Joe, knowing you, nothing stops you from training.
Well, no, but then we continued our way up Palani Road and kept on going.
And so, I mean, is there any fear of aftershocks during the race? Are you concerned at all? Or how are you preparing now mentally for race day?
Well, as far as that's concerned, I just put that out of my mind. That's something that is so completely out of my control, it's not even worth worrying about. And just focus on the race and getting through it well.
Talk about the race a little bit. I noticed that you do something a little bit differently than other triathletes. You come with a road bike setup. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's my ITU background or what makes that more comfortable for me. But I raced Coeur d'Alene this year with my road bars and STI shifters, and I had a really great race there, and I figured that it wasn't worth changing it, so I just decided to keep that kind of a setup on my new bike.
Does the wind come into play also? I mean, is there strategic reasons if the wind drums up more than usual out there?
Well, there's no question that when there are heavy crosswinds, I just don't feel as comfortable on my aero bars, so I thought that having the drops would be a good alternative because I can stay really aero, but not have that feeling of fighting the wind and just having more control over the bike. So I just thought that would give me an advantage on a windy day.
Talk a little bit about your strategy on race day now. Do you go out from the gun? Is it patience? What do you do with an Ironman? Is this the same as Coeur d'Alene setup, or is Hawaii a different breed?
I think I approach all Ironman sort of in the same way. Because swimming's my strength, I'm going to try to use that to my advantage. Of course, I'm not going to go all out on the swim, but I'm going to work that pretty hard and get as much time as I can on the people that I'm racing against. And then the bike, you have to be patient. It's a really long day, and you don't want to use all of it up right on the first 40K of the bike. So I think the whole race is just a test of patience and working into each segment of it. And the bike here is just a grueling ride, so I like to break it up into parts so that, I get through each part and then the next one comes along. You can't look at the whole thing, because then it becomes very intimidating. And the run is the same way, and just the way this course is set up, it lends itself to being broken up into sections.
How many times have you done this race?
This is my 9th time here.
And so you were doing it when you were...
An amateur, yeah.
Amateur and also ITU?
Yeah, I've started, my first time out here was in 1996. I'd just been in the sport for about a couple years, and...
How did you do that year?
I was 6th in my age group, and I think it was my first Ironman ever, actually, when I came out here in 96. I think I was just under 10:30, and it was a very long day.
Did you like it?
I really liked it. I was so unprepared. I had no idea what to expect, and... it was tough. I struggled on the run, but I really felt like I wanted to keep coming back. I just knew that this was going to be a good distance for me.
Did you, so 10 years as an Ironman athlete now, what do you notice from the time when you first did it, and probably a lot of you were really naive, and now you're being trained by Dave Scott, and, you've won races, and what's it like? Do you still think back to when you were starting out in the sport, or, what's it like when you do think back and see how far you've come?
It's amazing when I think back to my first trip here, how naive I really was. I never previewed the course. I hadn't consulted with anybody. I just came out here with really minimal training, and so much has changed for me nutritionally, my equipment, getting set up properly. But, everything's a process. You just can't jump right in and expect everything to be perfect the first time. And, I've been doing Ironmans for 10 years, but I'm still learning. Every race I go to is a learning process. I mean, even Coeur d'Alene earlier this year, I won the race. It was almost a perfect race for me, but there were still some mistakes that I made that I can fix for other races. And I think that's what keeps it exciting. And, why I am doing it for so long is because it's like a puzzle and it's just never completed.
Now, I think before we finish this interview, you need to go and give the little sacred pool a rub.
I don't even know if I'm allowed to. I don't even know if I'm allowed to touch the sacred pool.
I think we need to touch it.
We'll just touch it from here and just
We were just told that this is a navigational pool, aka the circumcision Hawaiian bath pool.
I accidentally sat down on it, but we'll just reverse our vibes from here.
Well, good luck out there, Joanna.
Thanks.
Have a good race.
Thanks. You too.